My attack is going to plan. I say that because he's not moving. Welcome back, Squid Boys. Today is a mini masterclass on how to defeat a human player who's out of the game and hasn't turned into an AI. So you could see here, there's a human player and they just are sitting there with the original 10. What's the best way to knock this person out? Well, let me show you. So previously I consolidated 45 infantry here, 45 infantry here. The rest are guarding up in the north, different video. And through that consolidation, the original border, I amassed the troops, 45, day change happened. After day change, the army was here and Army Group B was here. After day change, they crossed the line. You don't have to get it exactly, but you want to make sure you're on your side of the border so you get that morale bonus to your health instead of a decrease in morale, which is a negative towards your health, which is a negative towards strength. Now, I positioned to attack this AFK human player who hasn't turned into an AI yet, and this is what I did. Army Group B moved down here, and is going to the capital. You can see him right here. So he's already taken this, You can see the smokestacks. And by waiting till day change, you not only get more health and not a decrease in health by being in an enemy's territory. It will migrate to 50 if you just sit there. But look at the timer. I'm going to be there in 4 hours and 23 minutes. Day change is in about 8 hours. I can take this army out in 2 rounds. So add an extra hour. I'm going to take the capital before day change. What is that going to do? Well, all these provinces that I left unguarded, you can see the chance of an uprising is 24%, that by sacking the capital, all of this is going to turn past that 33% morale mark. So they start at 25 and they're going to get above 33. And that is being efficient because if I don't get the capital in time, there's a chance these can revolt back to the person I'm fighting, or even worse, revolt back to the nearest neighbor. Now, quick tip, revolting where it goes to is based on the popularity of the other countries. So whoever has the highest popularity, these provinces will go to that person. So it can go here and go to him, go to Carson City. I don't want either of those, but I have to start a new war if it ends up in the wrong hands. So it's important to not have revolts. Sometimes you can't help it. Now, Army Group A. We discussed B. We discussed how B will arrive on time and clear all these territories. So Army Group A went down here, took that area, went down here, took that area, is taking this area right now. You can see them right here. Let's look at them. Here you can see they're arriving in 3 hours. 3 hours is less than 4 hours and 20 minutes. So I can assume that all things being equal, the Army Group A will arrive to this location before I take this capital. Now, why is that important? Because if I take this province before I take the capital, and I know I can take the capital before day change, then I know that this province will also not need to have a garrison, just like the ones up north that I discussed earlier. So what does that mean? I can keep attacking. So now I have it to where he'll land on somewhere and he can just sit there. Why can he just sit there? Well, he can just sit there because it's the second to last province. This army group's going to end here. This army group, when they reach Sacramento, I will leave a garrison and the rest of the troops will just go in and take San Francisco. That way, I've only had to sit for a whole day on how many provinces? 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. That's 5 whole provinces. I didn't need to sit there or risk losing. And that's an efficient way of taking a capital. Now, there's one other way of taking a capital. So the other way of being efficient at taking a capital, because there's only 2 ways. It's the first way I just showed you. Here's the second way. You take everything but the capital. So you would move in, you'd take here, here, and here, and then the capital is the last thing. Now, why would you do that? Because you get a morale boost by taking that capital. And by taking the capital right now, the way I'm doing it, this province and this province are not getting that morale boost. But I prefer the first tactic A, because it's more decisive and I'm not sitting around too much. The second group requires me to leave this open so what the person can come and attack me at any time instead of me just quickly trying to take them out, cut the head off the snake. And I'm not sitting around with day changing all the time. I'm quickly getting my guys in and out as fast as I can. and as quickly as I can, because the longer they are fighting and the longer they're sitting in bad morale, enemy morale places, the more their morale is going to lower. And we don't want that. When you take a province, it's at 25%. You can get your whole army to 25%. That means when my army is at full strength and your army is at 25% morale, and you're wondering how you lost, because one of my infantry is greater than 4 of your infantry. And it's actually more compounded because 20 of the best units get full damage. 21 to 50 gets damage based on a gradient. That means the 21st one does the most damage, and the 50th one do the least. 51 doesn't do anything. No damage. We're not dealing with that at all. So if your army is at 25% morale, you're not only a quarter of a full healthy squid, but you also have that gradient to deal with. So it gets actually much, much worse. And now let me end with final mention on compound interest. Now, compound interest is the idea that a bigger group will just compound anything they see as interesting. And we call that compound interest. So I attacked this player with 45 infantry. As you can see, I've taken out 4 provinces. They have 10 infantry. So I've taken out 40 infantry, and each army group has lost 4 infantry. It's a pretty good kill ratio. 40 kills, 8 deaths. That's a good kill ratio right there. And it's going to get worse as they go along because day change and things like that. But this person's out of the game. If he comes back online, he's dead. And that's why it's important to attack with a large force that's connected to each other. I actually should make a video on why you want them together and not split up. But I really got to find good footage for that so you can visually see what I'm saying. All right, we are wrapping up. So I've taken the capital. And as you can see, the 5 provinces other than the capital are not smoking anymore. I click them, they're at 35%. So taking the capital gave me a 10% boost in all my provinces, including the ones up here. So it's always great to take a capital. But 35% is that magic number of no chance of rebellions. So I've made it so I assured it that I've kept all these territories for myself, and they're not going to fall into the hands of anyone else. And this is just a good tactic, even if you're not facing an AFK human player who's about to turn into an AI. Now, this player will turn at day change. So at day change, I'm going to move this group because I don't want to split up my forces and lose even more men, because now we're at 38. So they each lost 3 infantry, killing another set of 10. But then I'll move them here. And that's that. That is that. But yeah, this has been a mini masterclass series on taking out an AFK human who hasn't turned into a robot.